It supports digestive health, prebiotics, plant fiber, botanical plant fiber, non-GMO. It's cherry vanilla. Oh, I forgot to mention it's a sparkling tonic. Plant-powered, wild vegan, no added sugars, paleo, gluten-free. So now we know. Well, I've got a healthy soda pop with a very unhealthy egg roll. I don't even care. So, June 10th. Get your egg roll party ready for June 10th. I'm so hungry. It's so much more fun doing an eating video when you're starved. So, I should call Loretta and see if she wants to do a egg roll party on the 10th. I think that'd be fun. I was thinking of the Japanese cherry blossom when I saw this soda pop. Look, if I could find when it's National Cherry Blossom Day, wouldn't this be the perfect soda pop to have with Japanese cherry blossom? For an egg roll party, we could have pre-made egg rolls. These are the Taipei frozen egg rolls. And then we could also have an egg roll bar where all the stuff is there, the wrappers, all the sauces, the fillings, and people can make their own egg rolls. And then have a selection of different restaurant egg rolls. Like right now I'm thinking of P.F. Chang's. So you could order like a P.F. Chang's, Panda Express, all the other places where you can find egg rolls. And then eating and drinking videos. Very rarely do I scarf down the food and eat every last drop. Anyways, let's National Egg Roll Day, June 10th. Roll out the red carpet. I was all set and roll out the barrel. I'm in party mode. Roll out the red carpet for one of the country's ultimate comfort foods. National Egg Roll Day on June 10th delivers one American dream story and satisfies a craving at the same time. And you know you're craving an egg roll right now. That's so true. What is it about egg rolls? The egg roll began as a Chinese-American tradition that extended to Vietnamese immigrants reaching for the American dream. These traditions grew from the unfailing dedication of families in chop suey places serving hungry workers. Restaurants across the country perfected their own versions of the egg roll with a variety of finely chopped ingredients: pork, shrimp, cabbage, onions, bamboo shoots, water chestnuts, and seasonings. And it was all rolled up in a thin pastry wrap and deep fried. Hey, chop suey, can you even get chop suey anymore? Let's see if I can find some chop suey somewhere. The egg roll is a satisfying snack or an exciting part of a meal at home or away, but it's also played an essential role in making dreams come true for several generations of immigrants in the United States, and it continues to be in many ways. Our ability to celebrate the egg roll is as close as our freezer, telephone, restaurant, or even our own recipe. They forgot to mention DoorDash and Instacart. The egg roll is versatile too. Our love of the egg roll involves to meet strict diets, exotic flavors, and so much more. What more could we ask for to celebrate? How to observe #National Egg Roll Day and celebrate the hardworking history of the egg roll. Pick up a pack of Van's Kitchen's artisan batch egg rolls found in hundreds of grocers and convenience stores across the country while you celebrate the day with your favorite someone. I'll post the link to this page in the description box below. Now they got a little thing about Van's Kitchen. Do I know who they are? It says they founded National Egg Roll Day in 2019 to honor the company's founding in June of 1986. Van and Kim. That's such a familiar. Is it a Korean name? Right there. I'll never know how to pronounce it. Very common. Yu Young. I'm terrible. Two deserving Vietnamese. Oh, it's a Vietnamese immigrants made their ultimate American dream come to life with their passion for creating authentic egg rolls. Like many immigrant families before them, Van and King came from Vietnam. Together, they established a home and family business in Dallas, Texas. They diligently hired hardworking employees, filling out paperwork in a language that was not their own. The Youngians created a business model. Someone has to help me pronounce that name properly. That's terrible. Created a business model based solely on their greatest strength, making authentic egg rolls for those that the ones they love, using only fresh, whole ingredients and crafting the egg rolls in artisan batches. Van's Kitchen sets themselves apart by maintaining their decades-long commitment to making every bite the best one. 2019, the registrar at National Day Calendar proclaimed that National Egg Roll Day should be observed on June 10th annually. There's over 1,500 national days. Don't miss a single one. Go to nationaldaycalendar.com. How can I get a national day? Do I need to send in a request to these people? National Day Calendar Group. Wouldn't that be fun? Have your own calendar day. National Day Calendar. How do I even get on anything? I'm not on anything. People get on Wikipedia. They get on the National Day Calendar. Oh, well, there's something for me to think about in my spare time. So, that was fun. That was a fun National Day observance. So again, this will either come out June 10th or prior. Let's see if I can think of an egg roll story. The best I can ever come up with is in the 60s. This is such a fun family memory. In the 60s, growing up in Simi Valley, California, which at the time was the far east side, known as Santa Susana, California, right at the foot of the Rocky Peak Pass Road. The road that if you travel down that road, you'd come right across Bond Ranch, where the Manson family lived. But again, that's a whole spooky story for a whole nother spooky video. Anyways, I always call it a Chinese restaurant, I'm pretty sure it wasn't Japanese, it was Chinese or some other kind of Asian. It was called the Golden Phoenix Low, right there on LA Avenue in Simi Valley. I need to catch up with my siblings and see what happened to that. I wonder if there's even like vintage photos or anything, if they're still in business. But I think I'm thankful my dad he was an airplane captain for Flying Tiger Airlines prior to their merger with FedEx. And he went to Japan many years. I even wonder, would we have even started having fun with Chinese restaurants in the 60s had my dad not experienced the cuisine, firsthand over in Japan, with rice and egg rolls and the whole soup, the whole everything. And my favorite was always the almond cookie for dessert. We'd always get an almond cookie at the end of the meal, and they'd always serve fortune cookies, of course. And in the 60s, for grammar school kids, that was just so delightful. And we'd hear them talking in their own language, and we'd see family members. Always we'd see friends or family members taking the furthest table, the far side back of the restaurant, doing some kind of work, either folding napkins, doing something, writing out receipts, fixing like the little table centerpieces, something. And for me, it was just so much more than just fun Chinese food. It was seeing these people talking a whole different language and thinking to myself, how do they even know how to do things? Like, how do people come to a different country and have a life, and they don't, and they're a whole different language. And of course, as a young kid, I'm not thinking that they were probably just all Americanized, and I didn't have any clue. But I'm always such a big thinker, a big daydreamer, and stuff would happen, and I'd always think, like, how did they do that, or how can they do that? Because everything was so hard for me. I'm sure I had dyslexia and ADD as a child, but again, in the 60s, this was not a thing was even known, I guess. I kind of went through it all through my youth, but I would just be amazed at so many things, because mainly I just couldn't comprehend the sequence of events that may have landed that person in that spot out of the whole wide world. How did all these Chinese-speaking people end up here with a restaurant? Like, how did they know how to talk to American people about filling out the forms for a restaurant? Never thinking that, they were probably, here forever and they knew English. But that was always a fun part of my childhood too, is enjoyment of the event and then thinking all these thoughts I never really talked much about. I always thought to myself, because then after a while I would ask these questions, and to my friends who didn't have ADD, and they would say, "What? You don't know that?" Or, it seemed like they would not totally make fun of me, but they couldn't understand how I didn't know something. Anyways, one event I remember was in 3rd or 4th grade. We had to get up and read when it was time for geography, and the word was Chicago, and it was my turn to read. And I'll never forget, I get up and I call it Chicago. And like all the other kids in their desks as me say, Chicago, Chicago. And more so than being embarrassed, I'm thinking to myself, how do these, I may have been 4th grade, how do they know how to pronounce this? Like, what did I miss, or where was I when the teacher taught everybody that this word was Chicago? And that happened to me so many times, and I just got to a place that I didn't ask a lot of questions. I knew where it ended up. Everybody else would know it but me. Okay, so back to Golden Phoenix Low Chinese restaurant. And I was kind of like so happy, so proud of my dad that he knew how to order, because I'm pretty sure that my parents wouldn't have just stumbled out to a foreign kind of a restaurant without knowing anything. And so my dad would always ask, you want some rice, you want some egg rolls, and they want some, sweet and sour pork was his favorite. And then there were those little crispy, string crispy things. I forgot what you call them. And the waiter would come and talk very limited English, and my dad would take all the menus from us, and we'd sit there and watch and listen as he ordered. And I just thought that was really something. How he knew how to order all that. Little did I know it was a simple combination, family meal. It always seemed like it was never too full or never too busy, like bouncing with business. It was like a little family-owned restaurant. And so I wonder if that was what was going on in Simi Valley back in the 60s, where there are not many people willing to try, a different cuisine other than Taco Bell was a sure hit at the time. I think Taco Bell was like the only, outside of fried chicken and hamburgers and hot dogs, I think Taco Bell was the only popular place. I'm just thinking, not many people back at that time were willing to just try the food. Or we, could have been something just as simple as we never went there, like right in the middle of dinner time. We always went there, like for after the lunch hour, or late lunch or early supper, so that could have been it too, but they had to have been busy, right, if they always had these workers in the corner doing all this busy work, folding napkins, making centerpieces, and all the different things. And I always used to wonder when the waiter would come and, you know, he had a very limited English vocabulary, I thought, because he said very few words. And my dad knew he understood. And I always wondered, like, what would have happened if one of us or my parents would have asked just some out of the blue question, like, so how long has this restaurant been here? Or, you know, just some kind of a cordial question, like what would have happened? I was just convinced that they just showed up from China, started a business, and how do people do that? Anyways, so this has been another, guess I'll call it eating and drinking and rambling video from you know who. I was so starving, I didn't even do the traditional intro, did I? Well, that's what happens, I guess. Reminder, if you enjoyed this video, please push the thumbs up like button. I really appreciate your help with that.